There are two horses training right now. One is named Blue. This one is named JD, but we call him Red. We're going Blue and Red. Red is quite a ways behind Blue in training. That's got had a significant touchy problem. Bucking from when he showed up, the bucking is really relative to his bucking is really relative to his acceptance or lack of acceptance. He didn't like people, so it's catching his problem. That if we solve the bucking actually goes away. Are you recording on book kill? That doesn't mean he doesn't still have tension relative to other things. His acceptance of the saddle is an issue too. And the thing I wanted to film today is something I've never really put on to the process to help him accept the saddle more. I need him to accept me, to accept the human, and I need him to accept the saddle, and I need him to accept the bridle or the steering mechanism. But today, I'm just going to help him accept the saddle. Now, generally speaking, we would saddle the horse up to there's a bit of lunging, knocking about, maybe transitions that we win today. And then those transitions would show us, how well he accepts the saddle. I'm going to do something a little different today, something I don't usually film. So we do those same things. We do the transitions. We do all that. But what I'm going to film today is a little technique.
Can you lift his halter up? It's fallen down.
Yeah. Techniques on saddle acceptance. Usually shown in the world. Oh, it's a wrong shape. Let's see what we do. I take an extra rope. These are my driving lines. And I run that rope through the saddle stirrup, through a stirrup like this. So now I have control of the stirrup when he's in motion. My cinch is good. Now I take that rope over the saddle because I'm actually going to go to the off side. I go there with the hammer. Didn't even have to work with that stirrup. Fresh shaded it. Probably, I don't know, a week since I carried this saddle. I can feel it spoil inside too. But rather than push him around and buck around, stop it. And I say, that's not what we need from you. Now I tip this. Have. Oh, if you can come to the other side for a second, Bree. What we have is I can control his stirrup here from the offside of his body. So you can learn to accept the saddle from that awkward position. That's the whole point of this exercise. And he got on course before we even started. And that's all good. That's why you're here, my friends. Why you're here. Hold your breath this morning, huh? Why he's not being ridden yet. Okay, so what we do is just send him into motion, just like lunging on a circle, just like before.
just like our transitions. That's gonna go out into the circle and carry that saddle all by yourself now. That's good. You can take that stuff. Be in moment. And as he circled around, this thing where he's stopping and looking at me, I don't ever get frustrated by that. That's actually what I want him to do when I'm riding him. I get worried. I want him to stop, reconsider. Don't just go and unload whatever's on your back. So when he does that, I can give him a pause and I say things verbally. Bashing emotion. Well, that transition helped him relax. If I just push him through and say, hey, you're supposed to be working. You're going to see me lift that stirrup. He's just got a random sort of experience here. It's happening. That randomness, the thing used to a pattern. Touch the field good, like, okay, the saddle's okay, everything's okay, I'm doing okay. And then out of the blue, something happens. But the stirrup put where the winch is down. That's really further would go with it technique. Just exposing that exhibit very it keeps him more alert of the potential of something going a little off, a little haywire. And that is exactly what I need here to expose it. Because you get a horse real quiet. And then something you didn't expect, they didn't expect. Get in trouble. This is like doing that out of the blue training. Come to the other side. That's my little rope. Throw that over and over his head. Now I've got the same mechanisms on the other side, so I can play with that stirrup. It's not something that is really shown out in the world. Really safe technique. The saddle and the stirrup of randomness. As he passes by the camera and lifts that stirrup, you see it's been a blade you. But he's not even loading like it is again. That gives me a great deal of confidence. But as you ride it, I know we're going to ride it to say, come out of the gate with more consistency, breathing, happier, more aware, more alert, potential, weird things happening. Starting to settle in the idea that that thing is that way and that's safe. Now, I'm going to do the same thing, but from the same side. It's not as random, it's easier for him to watch. But try then a slightly different period. You can learn, see, and feel that bonding.
more extreme than what I would do when I'm in the saddle, when I'm riding. So it's like better exposure but when I'm up there riding and in the saddle. There's a lot less chance it could be reactive because he's been exposed to so much more on the ground. He's got all these visuals, he's got all this tactile sensation happening. That, okay, hasn't quite truly accepted me yet. That's a different game. I mean, it's all kind of part of the same thing. But the original full starting model made by people who are no longer with us, great horsemen like Tom Dorrance and Ray Hunt, is accept me, accept the saddle, and accept the steering mechanisms like the bridle or the halter or the hackamore. That's the original process. So if we just look at each individual piece and go, how well does it accept the saddle? Well, it's okay if everything's quiet, but what if something random happens? So this is that game. How well does it accept me? Does he allow me as I move around him? See him step back, kind of on guard, see him sort of moving about like, oh, I don't know if I like you in that position. So that's another like note I have to make mentally. Okay, I've got to work on that acceptance. It's got to accept me approaching him and climbing on him and getting all over him. Not riding, not yet, just in general, accept me. And accept steering mechanisms. We've done a little bit of that in our videos. It's up in like riding. We started. Some riding with him bareback, we're spearing around a little bit. And that's pretty good with the bridle and the steering. But it's less good with the saddle and the rider separate. And then we can variance how we looking at good and let go. Giving him all the roping you can. You can stop if you want to. You can even come in. This is the first. That's a first. That's nice. He actually would freeze out there in the beginning and just kind of wait. That time he just came in like, okay, I think I know what the drill here. Going to come in. Last thing I want to film for you guys today is another saddle acceptance model. And that's transitions into the canter. Specifically, we know that the canter is a trigger for most horses. Like they can walk and trot around and look pretty good, relatively good, even calm to a point. And then they get this canter step where they actually jump. A canter step resembles a lift and like their abs crunch together and their whole tactile sensation of the saddle changes when they canter. They're trotting along and the saddle's moving in a particular manner and then they canter and the saddle grabs them differently. So if I'm going to truly have him accept the saddle, I'm going to stand in here and maybe pick up a flag. Worse than example plastic. Then we're going to take him into the canter. First, the flag has to be adjusted to. The last thing I want is for him to look at this as a chasing tool. For him to lift it as a grooming tool first. Okay. It's out, Brad. Go ahead, you can look at it. around to that saddle.
We got some work to do, don't we, friend? So expressive. What happened, I think, is he became expressive with his previous training, and they just pushed him through it, pushed him out. But since you got to go to work, you got to get over this. And horses with a certain sensitivity level don't work that way. You can try, and it works well enough with some horses that are more laging by for less densities. Don't give up their reactivity. As you work them through it, he's a little bit the opposite. Let's just shut him down and say, don't even consider that. That tightness, that just hinge in, just take it all out. Just go. Let's have that lead. If I can work through that, we're going to shut it down and restart. Finally guide him into the trot. I'm going to have him accept the saddle and the trot. We accepted the saddle and the stirrup moving about. Now we're going to see if we can accept the saddle and the trot. Feeling good. See him wanting to check in here. It's such a nice thing. I don't want to chase him around. You're already right. You're supposed to be moving. I like the transition. So that 5-second pause there, that's perfect for him. Perfect opportunity to rest, repeat, reset. Got a nice little trot going on. Give him another 5 seconds pause, rest, repeat, reset. Trust is loud, trust. I'll show you just how little he accepts. Like, he's come so far in the time that I've had with him. I'm just gonna do a little start in me. I'm just gonna make a little noise, and you can watch him jump a little bit. The flinch, that he thinks that anything that moves means what you should move and react to. It's that prey animal deep inside, still stuck down in there. Today's a particularly hard day because it's windy. What a great day to train your horse on a windy day. It's not fun. I didn't say it's a fun day to train your horse. It's a great day to train your horse. It's a hard day to train your horse. Let's call it a yellow zone. Green zone is when everything's perfect on a sunny day and there's no extra pressure. Yellow zone is where the electric pressure, like a wind. The red zone is where it's got horses galloping about. So training a yellow zone is the perfect preparation for that red zone one day. You know what that is? You ready to take that canter set? Notice I haven't put him into it yet. I'm letting him just find himself out there. Got a blinking eye. Shut up. Just a 5-second rest. I'm looking for the canter now. I need him to find himself in that trot. When I ask for the canter, it's going to be solo. I'm not just going to stand them in there. Set an open gate. I let him find that extra gear and come back from it. Now I could have just, I was right on the edge of canter. I could have just pushed him right over that, into the canter. But there's no harm in bringing him back from that, because I'm going to be riding him, and I got to know, man, I got to know that I can bring him back. He doesn't lose his mind when he starts getting a little more energetic. I don't mind if he drops fast and then comes back.
there's a canter step, and you get to come back. So that, traditionally, cowboy in the young horse trainer that I was, want to push that extra shot. See, you still got that lynch. This right off. We got a lot of work to do on the ground still.
Why even Canter when he's a spin?
Yeah, just a little peek of the delta, so that's I need that exposure. Windy days, it's a little extra tough. I need to take into the edge or to take into the limit, but not over, and I need to know that I can come back. The lick's too out there. So, look for that canter step. Here you come back now. Again, canter. This is what I'm saying. The difference of me today versus me 15 years ago is that 15 years ago I would have said, time, go to work. Today I'm like, you take a little, now rest, now relax, take a break, rethink, reconnect, rebalance, bond, mixing our bonding and our training together, and then out we go again. I'll do one more. Maybe canter's great. Not, it's fine with me. We build on this day by day. He is responding to me. He is speeding up this trot. He's adapting that trot more. He's looking, he's doing out there. Okay. I don't know if you guys can see it. Kind of got a little bunched up there. And you know what he did was so cool? Got bunched up. And then he stopped. And then he reconnected with me. In the past, I would have said, get going, get out of that, break free of this binding feeling you have. And today I say, no, just relax, come back. We'll do it again. And again, and again, and again, and again, and again, and again, and again. We'll do it so many times that it becomes familiar to you. But we're not going to do it all at once. Because that's what triggered him to live in that space where he doesn't accept things. Did good, right? We got a lot. Either the way it's balanced, or we're going to call it a day. Sort it out. 4. Be that big trot. I let it come right back down out of that trot. We could push into that canter, but there's not a lot about it. Take the break and go back out. He's in the canter without the back. Big drop and come back out. And he does come back out of it. The past that would have triggered him. Now flows. Yeah, we can tell this thing. And I guess my trick, because I wanted to accept more and more and more everything, just like feel enjoyment regarding me, the saddle, the work. I like that he's walking out, not hard to him. But if you're truly going to accept the saddle, you have to accept all that random movements from the flat and on the stirrups. Has to accept canter. Has to prove that you come back from the canter, recover mentally, emotionally from that canter. And he is starting to prove that. So
Okay, so big. Wait.
today is not the day to hop up on his back. He's still too flinchy and he's backing off. So what I'm actually going to do next for him is take the saddle off, work it again the next day, and then just get him through repetition to accept the saddle more and more with the randomness of the stirrups, the lunging into the canter. Then separate from the saddle, I'm going to have him accept me bareback. Put him up to the mounting block and lean over his back and work with all his little trigger points, helping him relax into me. And then separate from that, we're going to do the steering control with the 2 lines riding. And once he's accepted, got to get him repair back and walk with friends. Got some work to that's the first for him. All right, thanks for